Hey Chiefs Kingdom, buckle up because this one hits different right after the draft. A familiar name is back in the headlines, but not in red and gold. We're talking about a former deep threat who helped bring championships to Kansas City, now making a move that's got fans talking. And trust me, the story behind it is even more telling than the headline itself. The teaser is simple. A Super Bowl-winning wide receiver is on the move again, and it says a lot about where his career is heading. Stick with me because this isn't just about a signing. It's about how the Kansas City Chiefs made the right call at the right time. And yeah, we've got to talk about what went wrong after he left. Marquez Valdes-Scantling is signing a one-year deal with the Dallas Cowboys, and it comes right on the heels of the NFL draft. That alone already raises eyebrows, because teams usually make these moves with a very specific purpose in mind. Depth, experience, or just a gamble. According to multiple insiders, including top NFL reporters, the deal is confirmed and official. MVS is heading to Dallas after bouncing around the league last season. And when you look at his recent numbers, it paints a very different picture from his Kansas City days. Last season alone, he split time between multiple teams and finished with just 14 receptions, 120 yards, and a single touchdown. That's a massive drop-off for a guy who was once considered a serious vertical threat. Chiefs fans remember those flashes. But consistency? That was always the question. Now let's rewind for a second, because context matters here. Back in Green Bay, MVS had his best statistical season in 2020, putting up 690 receiving yards. That was the version of him that made teams believe in his upside. When he joined the Kansas City Chiefs in 2022, expectations were high. And statistically, he delivered a solid season with 687 yards, nearly matching his career best. But here's the twist. His true value showed up in moments, not just numbers. Because while critics questioned his contract, MVS played a role in something bigger. The Chiefs won 2 Super Bowls during his time with the team, and in big playoff moments, he stepped up when it mattered most. But let's be real, Kansas City saw the full picture. The inconsistency, the drops, the streaky production. And eventually, the front office made the tough but smart decision to move on before his contract fully played out. And what happened after that? Well, things didn't exactly go as planned for MVS. His stint in Buffalo didn't produce results, and he struggled to find a rhythm. That's when the narrative started to shift. He had a brief stretch with the Saints where he showed signs of life, but it didn't last. Then came Seattle, and this is where it gets wild. He didn't even play a regular season game with the Seahawks. Meanwhile, Seattle went on to win the Super Bowl without him. That's the kind of twist that really makes you think about timing and fit in the NFL. Sometimes it's not just about talent. It's about the right system. After that, he split time between the 49ers and Steelers, putting up minimal production again. The numbers tell the story. This is a player who hasn't been able to recapture his Kansas City form. So when you see this Cowboys signing, you have to ask, what exactly are they expecting? A comeback story? A situational deep threat? Or just veteran depth in a crowded receiver room? Now let's flip it back to the Kansas City Chiefs, because this is where it gets really interesting. Going into the draft, many analysts expected KC to target a wide receiver early. Felt like a need, at least from the outside. But the Chiefs didn't just pass on a receiver once, they passed multiple times. Night 1 came and went without a wideout. Then more picks. Still no receiver. That sends a very clear message. Kansas City is confident in its current group. Way more confident than the media and fans expected. And that tells us something about how they view their offensive identity heading into the season. Eventually, they did select a receiver, Cyrus Allen, out of Cincinnati, but not until the 5th round. That's not a desperation move. That's a calculated addition with developmental upside. Scouting reports describe Allen as a dynamic athlete with quick movement and strong ball skills. He's not the biggest receiver, but he has the ability to adjust mid-air and make plays on the ball. Of course, he's not a finished product. There are concerns about physicality and strength, especially against more aggressive defenders. But that's exactly the kind of player Kansas City loves to develop. And let's not forget, the Chiefs already have a solid core. Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, and others bring speed, explosiveness, and versatility. This isn't a weak group, it's just a young one. So when you connect all the dots, it becomes clear. The Chiefs didn't just move on from MVS, they evolved past needing that type of player. They're building something different now. Meanwhile, MVS is trying to find his place again in a new system with Dallas. And honestly, we've seen this story before. The question is whether this chapter ends differently. Chiefs Kingdom, I want to hear from you. Did Kansas City make the right call moving on when they did? And do you think MVS still has something left in the tank with the Cowboys? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get this conversation going. And if you're loving these Kansas City Chiefs updates, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your fellow fans. Let's keep building this community strong.